From the 22 News Plus studio, this is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of InFocus. I am your host, Patrick Berry. We are in the 22 News Plus studios today, as always, and I am very fortunate today to be joined by two guests. They are Chris Melski and Jillian Rivera from Berkshire Arc, and we're here to talk about how their organization helps those folks with learning disabilities and brain injuries. Thank you both for joining me. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Chris, I want to start with you. You oversee the organization. Give me and our viewers sort of a bigger picture of what you folks do.
So I just want to start by saying I'm the Vice President of Residential Services. Our CEO President is Mary Ann Hyde, who oversees the organization. I actually oversee the residential supports, both in
probably the most important part,
both in Berkshire County and in the Pioneer Valley. We supply residential supports to folks with development disabilities and brain injury. We run group homes primarily. Is what I do, and I oversee the supports in that group home along with the staffing in that group home. We work with our funding agencies to try to achieve the best possible services possible, and I think we do that. Presently, we have over 800 staff in Berkshire County, 250 or more in the Pioneer Valley.
Wow.
We're a big agency, and
so that 800 staff, are they all in housing, or like what do they do?
Well, they serve different roles.
Okay.
There's some of us support staff. We have nursing staff, clinical staff. We have supervisors. We have residential support staff, which probably the vast majority of them.
Okay.
Each program has a number of staff that are associated to them based on the needs of the individuals we support.
Where do the individuals come from? Tell me a little bit about those
Sure.
people that you service.
So, they come from our funding sources. We get referrals from funding sources. That's both DDS and Mass Abilities.
Okay.
And along with, we also do some private care, from families and situations like that. But
Okay.
primarily it's DDS and Mass Abilities we receive our funding sources.
So who are the people that most need the services? Do they have certain criteria or qualifications that they have that you guys sort of say, okay, you can be a member, a client of ours?
Yeah. DDS, to get into DDS, you have to meet their criteria.
Okay.
So
there is sort of for lack of a better description, I apologize, a clearinghouse of you go through DDS first and then to
or mass abilities.
Okay.
They supply our individuals primarily. So once we get a referral, we'll look at that referral individually. The team will look at it. We have a dynamic senior leadership team. Like I said, both clinical, medical, and the staff that support them. So they'll review the referral, and we'll try to best match that support within the vacancy we have.
Okay. And now, Jillian, switching gears over to you, tell me a little bit about your role. And you're based out of the Westfield facility, correct?
Yes, I'm the program manager for the Brain Injury Community Center of Western Mass, located in Westfield.
Okay. And what do you do on a daily basis?
So on a daily basis, we gear our program in our clubhouse to the brain injury survivors. All of our members that are part of our clubhouse are brain injury survivors.
Let me interrupt you there. You've mentioned brain injury a couple of times. Is that the core of who you work with? So is it like people who've been in car accidents, stroke victims? So I guess who's your client base?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have brain injury survivors that where their brain injury was caused traumatically. So it's a TBI, traumatic brain injury,
Okay.
as well as we have members that have acquired brain injury, which is ABI.
So explain the difference between the two.
Acquired brain injury could happen through a stroke. It can happen with lack of oxygen to the brain, where traumatic is in a car accident where it's an outside force causing brain injury.
Okay. So, and again, the folks you deal with, as Chris mentioned, they go through a couple of different processes before they end up in your facility?
Well, actually, they find us, and if they do in fact have a brain injury, that is all that they need to show.
So if I'm a family member, say I've got a parent or a grandparent who may have had a stroke,
Yeah.
and my father unfortunately had passed from a stroke, but could I have sought the services of you folks to help my dad along, during his recovery period? Oh,
Absolutely.
Okay.
If they meet the criteria, which is showing proof of brain injury, absolutely, we're at our clubhouse.
So what happens on a daily basis? So do you have like certain programs, like it's 8 to 4, 9 to 5, all day long, overnight?
So we're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And our program, we follow the International Brain Injury Clubhouse Alliance clubhouse standards. So we run our program on a work order day. So our members come in and actually assist me with running our day and all the tasks that it would take to run a clubhouse.
Okay.
So our program,
I love the fact you call it a clubhouse.
Yeah, I like the clubhouse. So we break it apart. So we have a kitchen unit, we have building and grounds unit, we have a membership unit, and an advancement unit, and we do wellness sessions. So we together we plan. The members are included in all the planning. So we have activity calendars, and they plan their days within those units and within those themed activities.
So, Chris, is this the only facility like that in the organization, or this is just one of many?
So in terms of brain injury clubhouse, yes, it is the only one that we have presently. We are a very large human service agency in terms of other supports.
Okay.
We do AFC supports, which is adult family care supports. We service over 1,000 individuals in different segments of supports.
1,000 people?
1,000 individuals is what we do. We offer day program supports. We got community-based programs as term the day. We offer employment services for folks with development disabilities and brain injury. We, as I said earlier, we have over 44 group homes that I oversee, 25 in the Berkshire area, and the rest down in the Pioneer Valley in Southampton, Westfield, West Springfield, Southwick, and we have one in Feeding Hills.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, we are up on our first commercial break. Stay with us. We've got plenty more to talk about. We're back after this.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of In Focus. I am joined today across the desk by Chris Melski and Jillian Rivera. We're talking about Berkshire County Arc and the great work that they're doing here in the western part of the state. Thank you both for joining me today. I appreciate it. Chris, before we went to break, you talked about the quantity of facilities you have through Berkshire, Franklin, Hampden, Hampshire counties. Has it always been that level of care, or like 20, 30 years ago, it was a lower level? And is it growing? Like, is the need for care growing, or has it been pretty steady throughout the time?
So just to talk a little bit about Berkshire County Arc, and, I've been around for nearly 40 years, so I have a little history with it. We started off having the first group home in Massachusetts, in Pittsfield, Mass. Through the vision of our CEO, Marianne, and the board of directors, we expanded our funding sources into brain injury, which allowed us not to have all our eggs in one basket in terms of funding sources. So we expanded into the brain injury. It's grown and it's grown and it's growing, I should say. Yes, we're in the process of building 2 new group homes, one in the Berkshire County and one in the Pioneer Valley of Westfield. So we're real excited about that. Our mission is that we need to support folks with development disabilities and brain injury, and we are committed to that mission. The senior leadership team is committed to that mission. We work very closely with our funding sources to meet that mission. And we're dedicated. We have a wonderful staff. Incredible staff. As I said earlier, we have over 850 staff, and they are all committed to supporting folks, as I said, with development disabilities in their home. We're in the communities. We're spending dollars. We're accessing services.
Right.
We're, using local vendors all the time. So it's really important for us as an agency to give back to the community and use local vendors and local services and have our folks get out in the community and access the community. So that's a very important mission for Berkshire County Arc.
Absolutely. Jillian, in your world, do you see it on a day-to-day basis, the growth in the need and in what you folks do on the ground in the clubhouse? Do you see a lot of need for that? A lot of people seeking the services?
Absolutely. We have a big need, and there's a lot of people that don't know we exist. So we continue with community outreach and getting our name out there and letting people know that we do exist and there are a place with brain.
We're cycling through some photos that you folks sent about some of the things that people can experience through the programs. None of these look like they're in one specific location. You guys are out and about all the time.
We are.
And what's the reason for that? I love that. What's the reason for getting out and about versus being an in-house care agency?
Well, for my members, I know a lot of them, they're a bit scared. Society really doesn't, they in their words, they don't see them in the same way. They feel different, and when they go together, we go out together as a group and we volunteer together, and they just get a sense of just accomplishment when we're able to do that. And it really does calm their nerves, and they're able to see people in a different light when they are with the group and we are together. It just makes them better.
So, Chris, because of what Jillian and her group are doing on the ground, is that part of the growth that people see what she's doing and the benefits that the clients are getting? People are saying, oh, I need to get more involved in that.
I think you're right. I think it breaks down the stigmatism of folks with brain injury and development disabilities. We're out there, we're going to the restaurants. We're sitting next to folks that, are quote unquote normal folks.
Yeah.
And, we're accessing the services and we're out there. Yeah.
And now the growth, she's the only facility like that. But did you mention you're thinking or planning of creating additional facilities similar?
I believe the vision of the agency is to look into, larger, not necessarily larger, more supports in that area. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So how big is the group, like employees, fellow employees of BC Arc? How many do you have with you?
So in my program, I have 4, including myself.
That's it?
That's it. And our members are come in and they help us with going through our day. So it's expected that they help us with running our day at our program.
So, Chris, how are you looking for more people?
So we're constantly looking for people. We're a large human services agency. I said we have over 800 employees, and we're also building new programs. We have to staff those programs. We always look within for advancement.
Mm-hmm.
Marianne, who was the CEO, is always I guess I'm a perfect example of that, to be perfectly honest with you. I started off as a site manager. I was a director, and I was a supervisor, and now I'm the vice president.
You worked your way up.
Along with our CEO, started off as a relief staff too for our agency. So we're very vested in training, developing, and looking within. We do advertise a lot, and we need to advertise. It's 850 employees. Our turnover rate's remarkably low.
That's great.
And I think that makes Berkshire County Arc special. I'm not quite sure all agencies can say that, and maybe they can, but at Berkshire County Arc, we have good retainment of our staff.
So what skill sets do you need? I mean, do you need a PhD in mental health care, or really anyone that has a caring personality to help?
I think you said it right. I think, first of all, you have to care. We can train, we can develop, we can do all that. And we have a whole training department, both in the Pioneer Valley and Berkshire County. We have an area office at the Westwood building for the Pioneer Valley. We have clinical supports there. We have a training department, a whole HR department. And the supervisors are located there. We're very vested in developing our staff and basically retaining them too and keeping them. I think once you stay for a year with us, we find that you become long-term employees of Berkshire County Arc. Is the way it's worked out over the years. And that's special. That doesn't happen everywhere.
Absolutely, you are absolutely right. We are up on our second commercial break. Stay with us. We've got plenty more to talk about. We're back after this.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of In Focus. I am your host, Patrick Berry. Very happy today to be joined across the desk with Chris Melsky and Jillian Rivera. They're from Berkshire County Arc. Thank you again both for joining me. Talk a little bit about the work you do in helping those with the two types of brain injuries, especially, Jillian, in your facility. But Chris, your counterpart over here won a pretty prestigious award. Tell me about it.
Well deserved. She was recognized by the Mass Council for an outstanding brain injury employee, and well deserved.
I'm going to run a little bit of a video now. But so Jillian, you mentioned it was a surprise. So you had no idea that this was coming. But what was the award for?
It was for the best manager supervisor of the year.
Across the state. So how many other facilities are, how many people did you beat out?
I believe there was like no one else can. A lot of other award winners.
The number one of the year, right? That is fantastic. So Chris, let me ask you, how important is it that you guys get recognized to that level?
Again, I think we try to recognize our employees in a lot of different areas, both within our agency and statewide, and in some cases national-wide. They've been recognized, so it's very important for us.
And it speaks volumes to what you do. Not to take anything away from what you do personally, Jillian, but what you guys do as an organization. When you receive those awards, it sets you apart from others.
Yes, I agree.
So we talked a little bit about staffing, and Jillian, you've been there about 4 years, right? But you've dealt with coworkers. Chris has been there 40, so you've dealt with people who have been around for a long time. Why do you think people stay?
I think because they really enjoy what they do. They enjoy the people that they serve, and they really do. They have big hearts, and they just are caring and giving people, and they just want to make other people's lives as good as they can be.
How did you get into this role? Is it something you went to school for? Is it something, in your personal life that, again, my dad had a stroke that kind of drove me into more stroke awareness programs. So how did you get into it?
So I got into it prior to me being here. I was a director for adult day health. So I was already in the day program world. So that COVID hit really hard, which it did for a lot of companies, and that it just couldn't get back to where it was. So I found Berkshire County Arc, and I actually applied to a bunch of different positions that they had open, and one of them was for the day program. And sure enough, that one is the one I chose, and I'm so happy that I did.
Well,
we are too.
I was just going to say that. Well, you were an award winner, so that is fantastic. So, Chris, this is the only one like this in Western Mass.
That's correct.
What are some of the other programs that are offered at some of the other facilities that you oversee? So
there's day have facilities. We run 3 of them in the Berkshire County. There's also community-based programs. Okay. Let me interrupt you there. Yeah. Day programs. Is there anything overnight, or is it all daytime? Is it daytime Monday through Friday, or 7 days? So that's the residential folks. People live in our group homes, and they're 24/7, 7 days a week. Okay. Yeah. So we do offer those. Well, like I said, 44 of those programs in both counties. But as far as day services go, we offer employment services. We have a large AFC department that, is wonderful, which allows family members to keep their loved ones in their house. Okay. And we give the necessary supports and funding for making that to happen. Employment, as I said earlier, we offer employment service. That's a big part of what we do at Berkshire County Arc. People feel good when they get a paycheck. People feel good that they feel valued. So those employment services, those are for people who
who go through your program, Jillian, or through any of the programs throughout the organization that you help them progress to a certain point where they can be employed?
So again, they're referred by our funding sources, and we got a whole employment division that works with folks on finding jobs in the community, and if they need the necessary supports, and then fade out, on those supports as they get more comfortable in their jobs and in their roles.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Jillian, going back to the facility in Westfield, how big is it? I mean, describe the facility. Like, how big is it? What if I were to walk through the front door, what will I see?
So if you were to walk into the front door, you would be greeted by our members. So we have 6 round tables, 4 chairs to a table, which is our common area. So we sit and we lunch in that area, and we have some group activities. We have one small office for the business unit. We have a meeting room and a supply room. The kitchen is included in the big open area. So when you walk in, you'll see the tables as well as the kitchen. And it's kind of one big area. We have some partitions where we kind of blocked out a section for our advancement unit so we could have a little bit more focus. And we have a wonderful mural that was created by one of our members who chalked it, and then our members were able to paint it in. So it was a group effort as well. So we have one. It's wonderful, and I love decorating. So we always decorate for every season. But it's a great program, and when you walk in, you definitely feel welcomed when you get there.
How do folks get to these facilities? Do you have a transportation system in place, or is it family members, or how do folks get to you?
Kind of both.
Okay.
So some members, their families bring them. We have some members that are independent and drive themselves. They have their own vehicles and they are able to drive themselves to and from the program, as well as our funding source, Massability. They provide transportation as well.
Fantastic. And it's the website. I'm going to pull it up under your picture there, Jillian. bcarc.org is where people can go to get information. Anything more we need to know? Did we cover it all? We covered a lot of ground.
Just that we support some incredible individuals.
Certainly sounds like it.
They're incredible. Our staff's incredible.
Clearly, she got a state award winner over here.
We're growing, and we're present, and our folks have a good quality of life, and they're happy, and they're safe.
And that's what it's all about.
And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. You're right.
Fantastic. Well, I can't thank you both enough for joining me today, teaching me and our viewers a little bit about what you do. bcarc.org if you want more information. Thank you both. Good meeting you.
Thank you.
Likewise, Patrick. Thank you.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.